Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in a fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines and, most importantly, provide some actual insight in what you can do with all of this information. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is the real side of freight, ladies and gentlemen. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I only speak to transportation professionals on this show, as well as my twice-a-week long-form podcast, you guys, because I want to put the right information out there from people who have done what you're looking to do or who are currently doing what you're trying to achieve, so you can take all this information, apply it, utilize it, and see a meaningful difference in your business and your life. It's one of the many, many reasons why I probably fly this American flag behind me every single day. A, we're the greatest nation on earth, but B, I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you live yours as well. As you can see, we're back in studio. The Canadian road trip has officially commenced, and I flew back yesterday afternoon, and I am back in studio, in office, and yeah, gonna be home for a couple weeks here now, probably for the next 6 weeks. I'm actually going, the next travel I have scheduled is Freight Fest out in Houston, Texas in September. You guys should check that out. I'm going to be speaking at that, as well as a bunch of other people. It's going to be a great event that Ramel Watley and the Truck and Hustle crew puts on out there. Let me see. It's Q&A day. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's Q&A day. Friday is dedicated to that every single Friday. Just drops your sales and operations related questions in the chat. I got a couple of DMs that got sent over to me, and you can do that throughout the week too. If you got some DMs, or if you got some throughout the week, just DM them over to me and I'll answer them live on the show on Friday. But before we do anything, as always, you guys got to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub, vhubapp.com. Whether you're a broker, carrier, or a shipper, we all need access to trailers at some point in time. And the best part, you get paid to move these trailers. That's right. That's on top of the revenue that you can get by loading these trailers out. So what they're working on right now, you guys, they got a bunch of trailers out in San Diego, California, going literally all over the United States. They got some roll-up doors going to New Hampshire. They got some 53-foot swing doors going to Texas, Ohio, North Carolina, Illinois, and they range between $1,100 and $2,200 per trailer. That's right. That's on top of the revenue that you can get by loading these trailers out. You guys, it's a massive opportunity. And then they also have Paragould, Arkansas, going up to Mississauga, Ontario. And those are $736 US, you guys. So on there, though, just keep in mind, you don't have to just load these trailers out with freight in San Diego or out in Paragould, Arkansas. You know, you can reposition them into a different market. You can create a drop trailer pool and do all of that, you guys. They just got to end up in the destination cities that are out there, you guys. So think outside the box. Hit them up, vhubapp.com. My man Zach Lonergan and Stacy Steen, they'll be in the audience. Just do me a favor. Let them know that the Freight Coach sent you. Tracy St. Clair coming in hot on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. As always, Tracy. Carla Isted, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Zena, good morning to you. Happy Friday. My man Cole, what is up, dog? Good to see you. Yeah, man, the Canadian live show is out. I'll be back up there, though, man. I will be back up there and soon, for sure. Sonny Sharma, happy Friday. Let's fucking go. Amen to that. Bill McIntyre, what is up? Good morning. Happy Friday. Byron, the Freight Coach is going to Houston. Better wear your cowboy hat. I should get a big old cowboy hat just to wear out there. I got boots and everything. You know, I am a country boy, you know, growing up in northern Wisconsin and everything. I just never really rocked the cowboy hat, but I got the boots. Not the boots with the fur, like the one song. Let me see. Luca, what is up? Good morning to you. Michelle LeBlanc, good morning. Good to see you out there, Michelle. Yeah, you guys, we got it was a good week. It was a great week, great time, good travels, everything. And yeah, and today it is the Q&A day. So I got some questions that came through. Nick Sanders, good morning. It is time to make it happen. Kenneth McGowan, what is up, my man? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I got a question that came in. I got a couple of questions that came in, and I wanted to start with this one. It's my favorite topic, and it's about niche-based selling. And I literally talk about this very, very often, is going out there in building up in your book of business on the niche. And it says, here's a niche-based question for you today. Was talking about this topic and recently, and they pointed out the value of the niche, but they don't want to limit their potential because they know that they have the capability to take on other types of work. In this case, they were talking about dry van when they were really strong in flatbed. My general feeling is that the expertise of doing the harder, more complex thing is still something to lean into, but would value your sales take on that topic. So I think that to start out like this, when it comes down to the niche, I am all about sales reps that are, I don't want to call them one-trick ponies by any stretch of the imagination, because in this example, it's just like inside of my brokerage, right? Like, yes, we specialize in open deck and heavy haul transportation, but there is a dry van component that comes along with that. So yes, naturally, we will do that. But our specialization, like, I'm only going after shippers that primarily specialize in a lot of open deck and heavy haul freight, or it's at least 50% of the freight that they're moving, right? Those are the ones that I'm going after. I also think that as you grow and expand as a sales rep, you tend to realize that you don't necessarily need to offer everything, right? I don't think anybody's pigeonholing themselves by going after one freight type by any stretch of the imagination. And I would challenge everybody to research how big of a market share is that niche, right? Because like the domestic US freight brokerage over the road, that market alone is $400 billion, right? $400 billion with the B. I would say flatbed, this is just a guess on that, is at least $100 billion minimum. So why do you need to go in any other mode? Like, right? Like that's the thing is if you did $100 billion of freight brokerage, you're bigger than the top 100 right now. So I think like when you look at it in the macro market of everything, there's really no need to go out there. And I just look at it as like the subject matter expert things, right? Like if I need to call a plumber, I don't want to, they're going to come in and work on my plumbing, but I'm not going to call them to do electrical work in my house if they offer it, right? Like I don't see the need in that. And I feel like you look at all of the successful businesses that are out there, is a lot of them started with one thing, right? And I think that that's where a lot of confusion is. They don't want to pigeonhole themselves. Like in the question here, and I completely understand that thought process, but to get to those other service offerings, you have to be undeniably better than everybody in the one service offering that you're already operating in. And I just think that so many people underestimate how large these this industry is, right? Like when they hear $900 billion, I don't think anybody can really comprehend how large that is, right? And I think if you're out there building up a book of business, I mean, and shit, frankly, right now, I don't know of anybody who would turn away a $50 million operation, right? And that's not even again, I went to public school, but comparatively speaking, that is a very small fraction of the overall freight that's out there. And I think what that mentality really boils down to is it really comes down to the people who want to chase freight markets. They want to just work the spot market for everything, right? And I get it, because they're like, oh, I'm going to go do produce. I'm going to go do Christmas trees. I'm going to go do whatever that looks like. And it really just takes them off track. It takes them very off track of what they would do if they would just build up a specific core region with a core carrier base and then multiply that. It's a long-term play. I think the people who want to offer everything and be a jack of all trades are in this to, like, they think that is just going to be the quickest way to make a bunch of money. And you might get a little short-term bump to it, but it's not sustainable long-term, because there are people out there who specialize in all of this freight that's out there that will fucking steamroll you in the markets like there are right now. But I think the niche is great, especially when you're starting out and building it up. But I think like I'll use myself as an example. I'm not fucking perfect. I'm just using the fact that I've been doing this for damn near 15 years at this point. I could sell multiple modes of transportation right now if I wanted to because I have the firsthand experience. I'm not here to tell anybody how to run their operation, but our core focus is open deck and heavy haul. Yes, we accommodate dry van freight because there's a lot of crossover and synergies with that. But that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna build up off of that. And I think that it's the allure of the fact that another area is booming at that time when their book of business is down, and that's why people chase after those markets like that. So that's my take on it. And I'm going to show everybody, right? I'm going to show everybody as I build out my brokerage and as I hit 5, 10, 25, 50, 100, $500 million, all of those levels, I'm going to show everybody. All right. I believe in practicing what I preach. And that's what we're going to do. YouTube user, good morning to you. LinkedIn user, Wisconsin ? Go. Get the fuck out of here with that go blue bullshit. I'm just playing. On Wisconsin, baby. Let's go. Stephen Title, Papa Freight in the house. What is up, my man? Stephen Thompson, good morning to you, sir. Dylan Turner on YouTube. What's up, my man? Byron says, that's amazing. Michelle says, great point. Very slim chances you are already getting everything in that one space. Exactly. I would argue, Michelle, most people barely get access to 5 to 10% of their customers' freight. Not in every instance, so please don't fucking lump me in to all of it. I know Michelle's not, but I'm just the other people who are going to listen to this. But I think that people would be shocked at how little freight they're actually moving in comparison to their customers. I mean, because I look at it like this. I'm set up with some pretty large enterprise shippers. We're in the beginning stages of it, but I know that some of these guys have 10, 20, 30,000 annual shipments, and I'm barely seeing anything, right? And that's just those examples. Imagine how many other shippers that are out there that are moving 100 shipments a week, and you're moving 5 a day or 3 a day or whatever that looks like, and you think that you're getting access to everything. But, to kind of tie into a lot of this, you guys, when you're first starting out with customers, you are an absolute fucking liability as a service provider right away. You're an absolute liability. No matter how great you are at your job, you haven't proven anything yet, right? And these things take a ton of time to build up. And then in due time, yeah, your overall market share will increase. Your freight will increase and all of that. But if you've been working with a shipper for less than a year, I would all but guarantee you're not seeing as much as you want to think. Not in all cases. All right. I gotta be clear. This isn't in every case, but the majority of them, it takes a long time to build these up. And frankly, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing if it takes a long time to build up a sustainable partnership with the shipper. You really need to look at it from that perspective. Catherine Whitehouse says, that's what I keep telling myself. Continue to service air freight shippers as we do that better. That's right, Catherine. Fuck yeah, you do. You definitely do air freight better than everybody. You do it better than me. In entrepreneur, you do it better than anybody. I was going to make a smart ass comment about myself, but we don't need to do that. Andrew Teal says, if you're going to offer all service offerings, don't start your email with, we specialize in, and then list every mode of transportation to include Roman chariot. Yes. Amen to that. John Radvansky says, can you handle transport by carrier pigeon? Let me post it up out there. I'll call some of those in my network quick, and I'll get back to you if we can find any. Oh, that's funny. Oh, man. Byron says, in order to grow and flourish, we all need to support a team. And then I appreciate that, Byron. Thank you for the support. Also, as you can see, I'm back to drinking my normal Black Rifle coffee. Thank you for not having to drink the Tim Hortons out there anymore. That was such a letdown. That was such a letdown. I'm sure everybody, I look at it like this. In-N-Out, I love In-N-Out personally, but I hear people say it all the time is like they try it and they think it's trash. I thought that about Tim Hortons. I tried it. I had it built up in my head that it was going to be fucking phenomenal, and it just wasn't. It was not at all. All right. Here's another one that I got questions on is creating content. The question goes, I see a lot of people out there starting to create content, and they go in one direction or another, and they very rarely stick with one content strategy. What are your thoughts on starting out? So, what was that, Michelle? Blast me. I love a nice cat. Oh, Michelle. Oh, Michelle. That is funny. Oh my gosh, that is funny. Um, Let me see here. So, in regards to content strategy, Michelle is this. She's gonna love this question because Michelle is all about that. You guys should hit her up, drop and hook content. You guys, she's great at what she does. Um, Here's my thoughts when it comes down to content. And again, I am only speaking from myself. I am only speaking for what my journey entails and entailed. If you're in it to only get vanity metrics, it's a losing strategy. And I'm saying that because that's all I did for the first year, right? Like I just wanted to fucking go viral and everything else. I wanted to, I just wanted to be famous is essentially what it boiled down to. And I see a lot of that out there. I see a lot of the over sensationalism of topics at hand. I mean, yeah, and I look at it like this. If you're going out there, like I switched my perspective to just add, like, I just want to help one person every single day. Like through this and through anything else that I talk about, I just wanted to reach one person and have it benefit them. And that's my whole strategy. And I think that what's out there currently from there's just so much bullshit on social media. And it's not now, this isn't just LinkedIn, right? Like this is on all platforms, right? It's very tough to discern what's real and what's not out there. I just think that in today's day and age, though, when it comes down to people starting, just start, right? Like if you have, we all have unique experiences, right? Everybody who's in this on this live show right now, who's going to listen to it on the replay, who's commenting in the chats and everything, you guys all have a very unique perspective on how you guys operate in your industry, in your specific niche. I mean, Catherine talks about air freight. If she ever wanted to go out there and create content on air freight, 1000% go out there and create content on air freight. I think that for me, it is I see the content strategy turns into a vanity metric approach of how many likes can I get? And it's like two camps, right? It's either the ones who only want to talk about why they're better than everyone, and then it's the professional victims that are out there that only want to talk about the negative sides of their lives because those seem to like drive algorithms and everything. I personally believe in like just bringing the realities to business and everything else, and my journey, right? Like I'm here to tell my story and what I'm going through. And same thing. I mean, I'm Scott, my friend Scott Watanabe. He asked the other wheel, where's the he didn't like the backdrop here, the white. And he was asking about the new studio. And the reality is where what I'm building is going to take time. It's expensive, right? Like the camera that I'm using, I'll just come out. The camera that I'm using right here alone was $3,500, right? And as somebody who's out here bootstrapping all of this stuff, and it's a process to piece all of this together, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to continue to tell the realities and show people what it really boils down to. And I think like if you have a subject that you want to talk about it, provide that value. You guys all have an opportunity to build an audience, to build a whatever, as long as it's value focused. I think like that's the biggest thing that I would say is if your only strategy is to add value to others through your experiences, I think you're going to do really well. And I think your voice needs to be heard. But if your strategy is I'm only going to talk about the topic of the week or the flavor of the week, and then all of a sudden I'm a subject matter expert on why yellow failed and all of this other shit, I don't know. I think that you're just going to push it to a point to where you're just like fucking scraping for anything. It's like that dopamine hit that, kind of comes along with it. But I think when it comes down to it, creating content, just create it, just start. You are going to, you're going to be able to build up your own audience and your own following and everything. And your apps, just stick with it. Don't fucking pay attention to anything else, right? Like my strategy Here's what I'm doing. This is my God's honest strategy. I am here to provide an education platform. I am building an education platform where individuals can just come on, listen to this, and listen to other subject matter experts out there where they don't feel like they have to pay for it, right? Because as somebody who's bootstrapping everything, I understand the value of the right education. And I just want to have a platform where people can come in, listen to an episode or two, or get in touch with the right people, and and then see a meaningful difference in their business. That's my whole strategy with all of this. It's going to be focused on the blue collar industry as a whole. I'm all about trucking, but I'm going to build the largest blue collar transportation or blue collar podcast in the world. That's what I'm going to build. And it's just going to be geared toward talking to other industry professionals that are out there and just be able to tell their stories and just help people, right? Because this is fucking challenging. Building a business is challenging. Doing all of this is challenging. And we need to put the right information out there from the people. Like I say every day, for the people who have done what you're looking to do or who are currently doing what you're trying to achieve, because there's a ton of value in that. Let me see here. Michelle LeBlanc says, my 2 cents, pick a strategy and stick at it. You need to have faith in what you're doing and keep standing for that over time to build trust. That said, I always keep iterating and improving. Yeah, 100%, Michelle. I agree. And Frank, that's another thing. Like Michelle and I talk, well, not every single day, but Michelle is a very big reason on why I'm continuing to do what I do. And we've talked content strategy before, and that's really what it boils down to is that constant improvement in going out there and always looking to improve your content overall. LinkedIn user says less buttons equals more views. Byron says we all have a story, and Andrew Teal, $3,500 camera, probably could get a painting for that. Yeah, but Teal, that painting's not going to accentuate these fucking gray hairs in the beard and this salon quality haircut that I have, man. Papa Freight says metrics should be phone calls and emails about business, likes, educating, entertaining with your post should be the strategy. Luca says Alex Hermosi says it's simple as documenting your journey. Consistency and adding value is the magic bullet. Yeah, Luca, I fucking love Alex Hermosi. I literally just really started following him a couple of months ago. I heard him for like the first time on Andy Frisella's Real AF podcast. And I really kind of deep dove into his content. And I really, really enjoy what he does out there from a strategy and his perspective on building stuff up. And, it is as simple as documenting your journey. Like, you don't need any of the stuff that I have. I started on my laptop, right? And I use my cell phone for a lot of the videos that I post out there. You don't need anything more than that. Let me see here. Brand Chase Mac, excuse me, as a new freight agent, what are some industries to target at this time during the certain up and coming seasons? We were kind of talking about this earlier in the episode here, man. Pick a niche and stick with it. I don't think you play the seasonalities of anything. Yes, you can to a point, but I think choose your niche and stick with it, man. Whether it's dry van, flatbed, reefer, whatever that is. I would say this: if you're looking to start somewhere, start in your backyard. Whatever city you're located in, pick the industry that's town's known for, and go after freight like that. And just get out there and meet people. Meet as many people as you possibly can. Cody Miller, what is up? Good fucking morning. Happy Friday. I got, that's a tongue tire. Friday freight enthusiast. Joined late, but loving the wrap up. So got to get back and catch the full video shot on that sweet 30. Yeah, man, it took me fucking 2 years to be able to buy it. Andrew Teal says, I woke up thinking I need some more orange shirt in 4K. Thanks for spreading the cheddar. You know it, baby. You know it, Teal. Michelle LeBlanc says it goes along with what you're saying about sales too. You are a liability to people when you're unknown, and putting valuable free content out there can be a great way. Yeah, Michelle, it's so true, right? Like I was just talking about this when I was up. I was talking to with Mike at SPI Logistics. You guys, that's the 2 hours up in Canada scene. That's where I have my agency through, and they've been longtime supporters of the show. And I was talking with Mike Mikulik up there, and we were talking about the free content and demonstrate why you're not a liability. And it's for me, it's just sticking with it long enough, and your audience is going to kind of build up with it. And, early on, to kind of tie in with like what Mike and I were talking about, because I kind of semi lost my train of thought there, I'm going to be honest. But what Mike and I were talking about now is, finding guests now is easy, right? When I first started, I fucking couldn't get anybody to come on, right? Like it took a long time to be able to get some really consistent guests. Now I'm very fortunate where I could text 100 people and have the next 50 weeks booked out of the long form interviews if I really wanted to, right? And that comes with what your point there, Michelle, is I've been doing this now for over 3 years, consistently, damn near every single day. And now there's that trust factor that comes along with it. So I just think that in due time, you guys, all of the stuff that you want is going to happen. I was talking about this yesterday morning too, because, fortunately I have advertisers. I have people who are reaching out to me who want to advertise on my content and everything now. And I'm extremely fortunate for that. And what comes along with that is they want to see data, right? They want to see where are downloads at, what's the demographics and everything. And I have all of that. And a couple of months ago when I was looking at it, what's wild for the first 18 months, I like comparatively speaking, I got nothing for engagement, right? Nothing at all compared to what I have now. And like 90% of all of my downloads have happened over the last 18 months. So whether you're selling, building a book of business, building a business, or you're building a content strategy or whatever that is, it just takes time, you guys. It just takes time. It takes a lot more time than you want, but it is so fucking worth it, right? It is so worth it. And I think that just stick with it no matter what. It's one of the main reasons why I will always keep up all of my old videos, because I want to document where I started and where things go so people can see the gradual progression of the bedroom to the solo office to the studio that I'm going to have now, until eventually when I have a fucking massive building. Okay. All of that shit. I'm going to document all of it along the way. And you guys are going to see the only thing that it took was time and, a lot of other shit. But, I'm kind of trying to summarize there. Yeah, Luca, I'm a big fan of Alex Hormozi. I listen to I like his little podcast every single day where it's got 10 to 20 minute little clips. I started going live in April of 2022. And that's kind of when a lot of headlines started coming out about how everything was falling apart and sell your business and everything else. I just got really pissed off, and I'm like, I got to start breaking down industry headlines every single day to have people who are actually in the industry talk about it instead of a bunch of people who have, couldn't even tell you how many wheels are on an 18-wheeler. Dylan says, do you work with or dive into NFL medical work on your podcast? Or, no, I don't, man. I only really talk about freight on here. And what do you mean by NFO? I might be misinterpreting what that acronym stands for. Byron says not only time, but a lot of hard. Yeah, it is a lot of hard work, man. But again, what makes it, I don't want to call it tolerable, but what makes you able to go through everything every single day is when your mission is greater than you. If it's a self-serving mission, I think it's very fucking hard to get up every single day and put stuff out there every single day with no return. When it's about you. But when it's out there, when your focus has shifted to, I just want to help one person every single day, because that's literally it. Every single post that I put out there, if it helps one person improve or helps one person with value, that's what it's all about to me. And I truly abide by that. I won't change that, But yeah, I think there's a lot of hard work, but what isn't hard, right? As Andy Frisella says, essentially choose your hard. You're going to have, it's going to be hard to achieve your goals, or it's going to be hard to regret not achieving anything. So, but that's it for today, you guys. We'll be back on Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central. Let me see. Do I have a guest on Monday? I do not. So it'll be a solo show on Monday. We will break down some industry headlines. Dylan, no, I have never talked about that actually. Yeah, John, 100%. You got to understand your why. But that is going to be it for today, you guys. As always, thank you guys for your support. If you guys got value in what you heard here today, subscribe and share the show, you guys. Rank the show out there. YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. That's how we are the top transportation podcast, is because of each and every one of you. And that if you see value, your network's going to see value in it as well. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And we'll be talking to you soon.